Welcome back, everybody, to the Mid-America Gamers Expo. It is time for the losers finals. Holy, yes. We're going places today. I am excited for this one. Of course, all the action taking place on the CDWG and Nutanix tournament stage. CDWG, people who get IT, and of course, Nutanix, cloud on your terms. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Grant, CFO, and joining me again for the action, you're not surprised yet again. I'm telling you, you're never going to get surprised. It's Hot Sauce, the man, the myth, the legend. He's here to cover this one with me, and I am looking forward to this one. We've already seen both of these teams before. Now we get to see them clash in a different facet.
Yeah, Crusaders going to be taking on YeeT down here. Of course, the winner going to go up to that grand finals bracket to take on the University of Nebraska, who looks very deadly. But the match at hand ahead of us is going to be on Ascent. I don't think we've seen Ascent yet, so I'm excited for that. I expect to see a Killjoy and a Sova, maybe both, or a Sova and a Cypher. Both Killjoy and Cypher are insanely good at holding down the B site on Ascent. Sova as well, the dart through. You see a lot of Odin, Ares plays, sprays through the walls. So really excited to see these teams on Ascent, and excited to see if they're going to mix up the character pick. You know, we saw, I think, Wes on Reyna last time. We saw KDN, I believe, on Sage. He's already got Sova locked in. So it does look like we're going to see a little bit different of a comp here. Of course, we see that Sova, but no Killjoy or Cypher.
Interesting. I mean, I would have gone along with you in that pick to see at least one of those characters. We still got some time. You know, not everybody's locked in. You still got 4 players to pick from. Maybe you get what you're looking for. Maybe Paco looking at Cypher would be a good pick. I'm anticipating for it, but, you know, very quick to lock in on the side of the defenders here. That's something that, I mean, that shows confidence. They know Ascent. They're like, yeah, we know who we want to play. We're not going to spend any extra time thinking about it. We're just going to go in and go with it, see what happens with our pairings.
Yeah, so we see Wes, previously Reyna, now on Phoenix as well. Paco, man, we saw him doing very well with Cypher, so going to remain there. Disobeys, of course, with Astra again. So very excited here for this match on Ascent as we get these teams loaded in. But any predictions?
Okay. So you know I had a gut feeling prediction based off of anything very little, but for something tells me this is going to be a 13-7 game in favor of YeeT. And I know you got a chance to talk to the other teams a little bit about how they're feeling coming into this and, you know, what they think of the other teams in the tournament. So why don't you give us a little insight?
Well, you know, we saw Crusaders play very, very well. YeeT going up against the University of Nebraska, having a tough time, but able to take some rounds away from that tough team. So, you know, I expected them to come out swinging. I assume that they are already warmed up. You know, does that break affect the Crusaders? That'll be the question at hand as we get ready here to start round 1.
Well, it is certainly a question needing to be answered, and one that we won't have to wait much longer to find out. Said answer 2. We're into the pistol round. We have stressed how important it is. It's going to be important every single time that you win this game first. If you don't pick this one off, your econ's going to suffer, meaning you can buy less items. You know how it works. So, already deep into this one. J-Dog with an aggressive push onto that Sova. Their recon dart not finding its mark. Keanu pushing around with the rest of the team. Here we go. First gunfight. Looking for that first pick. Certainly one to be crucial in such an important round. Triggy waiting around the boxes for somebody to come through. There's Keanu. Gets the pick on them. Spike going down. Can't find anything else while they're looking. Lux deploying a couple stars. That's Wes onto Triggy as well. J-Dog looking for a couple. Finds one. Needs another. Might be able to push the spike, but I'm not sure if they know quite yet. There are still threats around the corner. Lux gets one. KDN with a trade, and instantly back from J-Dog. Psycho goes down, and that's going to be a defuse going to YeeT, and that's going to bode well for their econ.
Yeah, Psycho gambling a little bit there, buying that Sheriff early on, but that gamble is going to pay off. They clutch this first round, and of course should be able to force up here in round 2. Crusaders are going to have to most likely save here a little bit, try to build that economy. So this is going to be a tough round for Crusaders. Look to see if they can get at least 1 or 2 kills, maybe take some of the money or weapons away even from YeeT.
And you notice Psycho and Triggy not going in too much on their buy. Okay, no, of course, they're going to spite me there and pick up some Spectres and a Marshal as well. I was kind of looking at it. They had seemed a bit hesitant, and I was like, you know what? I'm all for it. If you're trying to save up, get your hands on a gun pretty early and save up that econ, make sure you're going well. If you can survive with that, then good for you. Absolutely go ahead and do it, but it's not what we see go down here. Everybody wielding a Spectre, except for one who's got the Marshal.
Yeah, kind of a 1-1-3 setup here for the Crusaders as they look to push in. Triggy over here on Cat just outside of Tree Room with that Marshal. course, that recon dart coming in, giving him a little bit of intel as Wes looks to break the wall, and there's Triggy from Cat, finds one, can't hit the second shot. Sova over there dancing behind the corner, and Triggy unable to come away with that one. I believe he hit him in the body, though, so that's going to chunk him down for 101. As Wes looking to push out of tiles here, and Triggy with a 3K, looking to do some work with that Marshall. Now Maury switches to the classic, and he gets it.
One more for an ace. You knew Triggy knew a lot about that intel coming forth for them, and Dr. Paco, man, has a lot to handle. And we've seen this story play out before. It's just not going to go their way. That's the second round to YeeT, and of course it's going to be like that with the econ.
So here we go. They should be able to get a full buy here. Again, this site can, you know, on a scent, I feel like it's a little more favorable on that defender side. So again, I would expect to see this from YeeT. Ideally, if you're the Crusaders, you want to look to get 4 or 5 rounds, you know, if feasible.
If you can. Whatever you can do to get rounds, you're going to have to make your way up there and do. We are getting ready and set for round number 3. Triggy sees a couple things, got to shoot out in the Cypher cam. I don't know that they quite got there. Wes firing through the smoke. Nothing to come up from it, but again, this is what you see typically. They can't see what we're seeing on screen. We can see through walls, they can't. They don't know what threats looming around anywhere. Triggy and J-Dog lining up to cover some corners. Keanu knows Silva's there at that, but Keanu, nothing to be found. Under fire from the Marshall as well. That's Triggy on the other end. Disobey, nothing to be found. It's very, very quiet, but this is what Valorant's going to do. Is it's going to start quiet, and out of nowhere, it's going to pick up. You're going to see kills traded like nobody's business.
Yeah, just kind of flirting around mid here, trying to find that pick. They know Sova is tucked away in market there. Jet, of course, in CT, trying to hold that angle for him as well. Now Sova trying to check garage. Wes about to make that push out, but a nice slow coming in from Sage here, buying the team time as well. We can see the Astra smoke coming off, and now the Marshall rotating into position here. From behind, though, KDN with a beautiful kill onto J-Dog, and that's going to begin to open some things up as they push across mid over toward Cat here. Reyna all alone on A. Psycho! And he can't find at least one. Keanu steps in with a Vandal and cleans up, pushing onto A site. Keanu up top in heaven. One more. Can he get the 3K? No. Triggy able to trade him out. He's going to collect a weapon of his own here. Now on a 3v2, that spike is down, able to fall off site and kind of play angles in a much better position here.
You see that crosshair just at neck level, not quite the head, and that's what we've seen. Every time you see someone who's got the advantage, who, you know, all they have to do is wait for somebody to come around the corner, right? They get taken down because the crosshair is just a little bit low. Triggy missing everything out on their ult, and that is huge. You gotta hit your shots, and that's just basic fundamental.
Yeah, unfortunate, you know, I thought a few of those knives hit, but just kind of dancing around the target there. Crusaders able to bag a round win coming from that full buy here. So again, trying to put a little pressure on the economy, but both teams, it looks like we should be able to get a full buy, maybe a little low for Keanu here. If he can get that orb, he will have his ult though, and he can play off those knives.
Well, certainly we saw. And with the other Jet on the other side, Triggy unable to pick up much with their ult, and Keanu just one away, as you've pointed out. Knights are waiting around the back as Sage puts down some slowing material. Wes all the way deep, can't pick up that pick onto Triggy. Waiting around for anything to come their way as they slow push through the smoke, knowing there is no living threat, and it is all just red herrings through the middle at the moment. Disobeys in the back, following along with their squad. J-Dog posting themselves up, scouting the area. You just see how spaced out everybody is and how they can't really find anything. Although here we go. Here's that gunfight we're looking for. Triggy looking to finish off a couple through the smoke and doesn't find their mark. Disobeys across, spike going down if we've heard it. As long as that's not fake. Might have been, or maybe my ears have just completely thrown me for a loop.
Yeah, KDN tucked in here at mid, just kind of being patient with that spike, trying to find an additional pick. They do have the man advantage over here on YeeT, tucked in spawn, as well as Jet. Sage, of course, holding down that B site now as they begin to make that pressure. Triggy has really locked this down, though. He's done a great job of being patient, not over-rotating, as we see Sova begin to push toward market, hopefully trying to get out into B here with that spike, but so many different angles to check here. These smokes are definitely going to help that. He spots the cam up top as well, so that should give him a little intel, and now the rotation coming in, but Disobey is holding this, and he finds the headshot on the Lux. Only 10 seconds remaining. It takes 4 to get the spike down, and they're in a hurry. Triggy waiting patiently, able to find the 3K.
Well, that time they were making sure that their crosshair was placed correctly. Instant picks, but at the end, YeeT holding on as the defenders, making sure that Crusaders weren't able to get anything going for them. Now, I want to touch on a little bit what you and I were talking about before this, is the fact that Crusaders were talking about, you know, who they've got waiting in the grand finals, who they could potentially go up and play, and how they struggle against that team, and they thought that it was pretty neat that YeeT were able to get 6 rounds off of such a stellar team that definitely belongs in the grand finals. So you talk about YeeT being able to pull off more rounds than what's waiting for them on the other side, and just a likely, or I guess similar opponent. I don't know that Crusaders have what it takes, but this is not the same team that they're playing. They're not playing that same opponent. They are playing each other, and that's how this one is going to boil down. J-Dog can't find what they're looking for onto Keanu instead of their way around Triggy. He's going to make a rotate back for this one.
Oh, and Psycho out from tree on the cat, able to find Paco there, and that is the equalizer they need now on a 4v4 setup as they begin to push mid again. They've done a great job at controlling mid here so far. But again, we saw Wes popping off last game with Reyna, doing phenomenal, struggling a little bit here now. Phoenix, as Knights are able to find a kill. Katie in with a beautiful trade from the Sheriff as Keanu dashes over to switch, and now they find themselves in a position to start to work here, but 2 in that spawn, trying to keep from Katie in, and locks from behind. Now Keanu swings out, finds the head of Triggy. He tries to shoot the blind, but somehow he doesn't get it, and Psycho finds that kill.
Wes making sure to open up that door as well, once that is a potential escape route, but now it is something that could be used against them. Certainly the way that they have decided to go, if that wasn't obvious before. Wes has nothing really to cover on B site, and I mean, they gotta find a way to get to the spike. They're gonna go ahead and ult, run it back here. Gets taken down instantly, nothing to come of that except for intel. 10 seconds to go, you're gonna have to kill everybody, and it's not going to happen. Defenders, 2-1, take it.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we didn't see Wes pick Reyna again. He did so well that first time, but again, Reyna cycle on the other side, 6-1. Triggy 9-3. I think Triggy was the one who struggled maybe a little bit in that previous game against University of Nebraska as well, but they seem to be very warmed up here. Triggy is absolutely popping off at 9-3. Of course, Psycho 6-1. So again, the Crusaders got to try to find a way to use this utility to make these pushes onto site and see if they can get something here. This could be the round. YeeT kind of setting up 3 over on B, so this could be a good push here for the Crusaders, but we can see that Owl drone coming in, just trying to find a little intel. Of course, KDN does have the ult in hand as well.
All they know certainly where Psycho is going to be waiting for this one as 4 members look to push in. That's Hunter's Fury ult coming from Sova. Might have hit a couple of their marks here. That's Luke's going down, or Lux. Knights are waiting on the other side of this Astro wall. Very interesting, but yeah, it's very weird that Wes did not go with Rain on this one. It's a character that benefits individual skill, and when you're performing well, you're going to get a lot of benefits for that. It's very strange pick as we are down to a 5v2. YeeT on the back foot. Can't find that mark onto Wes. Still looking. His Knights are nothing really to be found. It's a little low, but no kill going to benefit them quite yet, and they are taken down for heaven.
Yeah, just a good job of getting up on Gen, relocating. Keanu with a final kill on the Triggy, though, and a round needed from Crusaders, able to clutch it up and kind of cut that lead in half here as they look to progress a little further. 10-4 for Triggy, 6-5 for Keanu as he starts to battle back. And it looks like Wes is still struggling to hit some of these shots. We saw him kind of playing a little cat and mouse with Knightster over there on that A site, but again, just struggling to hit a little bit of shots right now. Once he gets into that groove that we've seen him get in before, he is a very dangerous player.
Certainly, indeed. And you can still see YeeT saving up a little bit of their economy, going with 3 sheriffs this round as A little bit of a scrap buy coming out from the other side for Crusaders. Everybody looking pretty comfortable in economy, and this is going to be an interesting round that decides where that shifts towards. Triggy getting one kill from their ult. Nightster picking up another, instantly taken down by Disobeys. It is ultimate trades all the way around. J-Dog from behind, and Keanu finds the pick on J-Dog. Just like that, a quick round goes to 2v1 in favor of YeeT. This is going to get interesting.
Yeah, J-Dog had some nice kills there, ran out of ammo, switched to the Sheriff, able to find the head and get yet another kill as Kiana has Spike in hand, doesn't want to plant it yet, looking for that kill, but Lux was waiting there with the Sheriff, and another round for YeeT as they are up by 3.
Well, that was certainly a round in its own right. They were hesitant to push in with that Spike, as they should be when you're outnumbered like that. You know nothing that is looming around the corner, so you have to play it careful. You push in, you do what you can, and just doesn't go their way very, very quickly. And you lose your teammates that quick too. It's hard to reorient yourself, like what is going on here. Now we see the op coming out from Triggy. I'm interested to see what they do with that, as they are sitting on top of the scoreboard with that top fragger. Misses their first shot though. That's a little interesting. If that can happen, can't find one through the smoke. Keanu wants to push through though. They've got their ult all lined up. Finds their teammates instead. Gunfire being traded. Lots of sound cues to pick up on here. J-Dog, recon dart out, looking for more intel. Keanu waiting to use that duelist tactic from Jet, but no, that's Triggy going down as the other Jet. KDN knows where one Sova is. They're not gonna be able to find much. Picking up on the rotate now.
Yeah, there's a beautiful shot from Wes. Hopefully he's getting things going now. A nice tap from the Sheriff. We can see Keanu in the ult, trying to make some pressure through Garage here, checking that right angle as well, as people like to sit there, waiting to break that wall. But the Hunter Fury coming in from J-Dog, and this could be huge. He finds one kill, can't mark another. The final knife from Keanu, though, finding the head of Disobey. He's going to reset those knives. Back onto site here, they are able to get this Spike down with ease. And now that rotation coming in, most likely going to have to play for this retake together.
Potentially all 3 on site, as things should be. All defenders pushed out, needing to retake. Psycho being the one to push first. Lux gearing up with their Astra, trying to place down some stars. Instead, it's going to go down an entire wall using their ult. Psycho pushing in now. Has one, just going to get there. Keanu takes down Lux. 2v1, just a Sova remaining in J-Dog here. They are looking to go first. Might know where Keanu is. Instead, looks for the Cypher. Gets taken down along the way. What a round.
Nothing more rewarding than those Sheriff shots, those Wandy, straight to the dome. Just a beautiful shot. When you're in a moment like that, it truly feels good. But right now, the Crusaders are battling back very nicely. You know, YeeT came out swinging 4-1, I think, at one point. So finally gathering some rounds under the belt, starting to build that economy. We can see it's pretty much dwindled away for YeeT. A couple members not able to get full heavy armor as well. So this could be another crucial round here for Crusaders, a round on paper that they should be able to take, but we'll see.
We will see indeed. Paco playing on their Cypher cam, just watching patiently here, although I think they've snuffed out exactly what's going on, unless that's a waypoint from the other team. KDN sneaking around the back, has Psycho in their sights, just barely missed out on that one. Keanu pushing forward with, I mean, not really a health difference, but just wants to push that duelist forward first. KDN, there's the recon dart. Don't think they found anything from it. Disobeys going back to regroup with the rest of the Crusader squad.
Yeah, just playing, playing smart, playing slow here, a little default, trying to find that first pick, see if they can get that one-man advantage before they press somewhere, some of the utility, try to maybe draw out a rotation here from YeeT, but YeeT just doing a great job of remaining patient here. Of course, Sova holding down that mid, Sage locked, or anchoring that B site rather, and it does look like Crusaders are going to opt to start working back toward this A site. The Astral Wall coming up as well. Psycho with that Leer in hand, waiting to blind the Crusaders as they enter, and Lux can't find the first one. It's Disobeys. Now Wes is really coming along, starting to fire on all cylinders, finds yet another kill. Now in a 5v3 as they press the site here. Should be able to get this plant down with ease. Keanu up top in heaven, still finds J-Dog. And now the shock dart's coming in here. Triggy in a tough position at window. Oh, and there's Keanu who steps over, finds the kill, and Sage, all that remains, has the ult, the res in hand, but really not a round that you'll most likely use it on here sitting at 5-1.
Certainly not. There's no situation where I can see them really using any of their abilities. They're going to save that. You know, it's not the biggest dent in your economy, but still, you don't want to use that unless you know it's going to benefit you in a given situation, which it just isn't. And you know that the Crusaders are feeling good about this one, just firing away, running away, knowing that there's nothing that can be done. Although I kind of wonder if Knights are pushes in, they won't get away from it. They just want to save their economy because it has been dwindling for a little while now, as 4 rounds to 5 becomes our score line. Crusaders trailing by 1.
Yeah, since a tough map to work, really, especially when you have a great use of utility. And right now, they're just doing a great job of kind of locking down that B site, forcing them to A. But now we see Crusaders mixing up that strategy a little bit, kind of causing some rotations from YeeT. We see a little stack in the middle, but it looks like Crusaders are going to be working that B site here yet again.
Does appear to be that way. You take a look how even the scoreboard is. I mean, it's almost identical in terms of kills, at least who's got it, how it's lined up, how it's distributed. So that's pretty interesting to see how close this is. And I mean, rightfully so. When you're only trailing by 1, then we'll go with it. Paco, okay, changing up the numbers immediately off the start. 2 kills to their name. Keanu finds their first of the round. That's a 1 for Wes. It is all spread. It's the team involvement. It's, I mean, kind of similar to Rocket League, being able to perform as an individual and everybody able to do that in this 10th round. KDN getting the plant down, and again, it's that 5v1. They just did this last round. It's the same situation, different individuals singled out here for Lux. They've got a sheriff to their name, and that is all they have to defend themselves. Tries to blind fire, but they know that they have been found out. They've been sniffed out, and it is all tied up.
Yeah, 5-5. I mean, I couldn't ask for a closer game. 2 rounds till halftime here, and you mentioned it. You know, Keanu has 12, Triggy 11. Really, the kills across the board for each member very similar here. So, you know, obviously at this point, anybody's match, but interested to see how YeeT does on that attacking side here in a moment.
Certainly not too far out, are we, from swapping sides, but being tied up like this when you haven't won a round in a while, it feels a little bad. But again, you have to understand the nature of the game, that is just how it's going to be. It's going to swing one way and then swing the other. Triggy gets the first pick of this game. Psycho wants to find another, and they do indeed do so. Keanu waiting on for the site, but nobody even around. Lux sees the owl drone come out. They're gonna hide themselves. They wait somebody to peek. Of course, you're not gonna expect it to come from that side because you think there's only 1. There's 2, and they take you and your friend out with them. Keanu picking up their ult, misses a couple, or maybe landed 1. Spike going down. That's gonna force some out of heaven, and Keanu knows it. Missing their ult though. That's so crucial. This Spike now in a precarious situation. Psycho wants to drop down as KDN waits in hell. Cuts taken down. A little bit of assistance from your friends. We're down to 2, and that is YeeT with a defuse.
Whew, that was a crazy round.
Oh yeah.
A great use of utility yet again, but they're really overwhelming them here. A good retake as well from YeeT. Silva was really popping off with the recon darts. 6-5. Here we are, 1 round before halftime. We'd like to see the Crusaders tie it up 14-7 for Keanu. And again, you mentioned it. He had that ult there kind of shooting at heaven, but unfortunately unable to connect on that.
It was good coverage. I really liked the game plan. I mean, it seemed very logical that when you put the spike down, you kind of know that they're trailing up there and they might be on the other site coming on their way back. That's where you're going to say, like, oh yeah, they're heaven. I'm going to use my ult here, pick up a couple easy kills as they come around the corner, but they just couldn't miss their mark. And I believe Jett was also recently nerfed as well, where it's no longer one knife to the body equals a kill. I think you got to get 3 now and 1 to the head. So it's the same thing with guns. They give a little nerf and it becomes a lot more difficult to play this character, but more balanced. We love to see it. Close game. YeeT only up by 1. Wes getting the first pick of the game. Recon Tart making their location known. Triggy hiding deep within the smoke as well. Paco Man knows somebody's around there, but nothing to be found. J-Dog now to Keanu. This is again that patient play. You just gotta wait for somebody to come to you, and you see Knights are waiting right around that corner for Jett to push, and they're just saying, come on, you don't want none of this.
Yeah, Sage has done a great job here. Nicer as well was hiding on the other side of the wall this time, but opts to peek out as that wall was about to break, and the patience from Keanu there, unreal, able to find that kill. Now on a 5v2, the pressure is going to come tenfold onto this side, of course. Jet over there stuck in that spawn as well, and just a tough position to be in if you're YeeT here. Wes and crew already know where they're at. The intel is there. We'll see if they can do anything as Lux beginning to press toward Market. Triggy holding down that CT side. Again, the economy has not been there, but being the final round of the half, you cannot save. They have to push. In a very tough position is KDN holding this with the up, and he just misses the head of Jet, though. That is going to buy him a second life. Lux breaking down that Market door as well. Now the shot's ringing out. Of course, the ult from Sova, but it's not needed as Disobeys finds the final kill on the Lux. We are all tied up at halftime.
Oh boy, this has been the story all day long with these close series. You know, I'm all here for it. I love to see it when it gets this close and when it's just those one-round games and anybody could pull away at any moment. And we're going to the swamp now. We have a pistol round yet again, and it's like we're starting from 0-0. It's like we are right from scratch. There's nothing really too fancy going on here. One team pulled away and the other pulled right back, and it's like we're restarting.
Yeah, and we saw YeeT take probably five rounds pretty quickly early on. Then Crusaders dominating that second half, or the second series of that first half, and so we'll look to see if they can keep it going. Of course, that pistol round is crucial. Wes setting up here with the molly through the window, but really just kind of holding him at bay so Keanu can get into garage here. Will they check this cubby? That is key. The flash as well, and Phoenix really just trying to create a lot of noise. He doesn't want them to know that Jet is there, but Triggy able to find that pick, and that makes things a lot tougher for Keanu as he's able to tap the head of Nightster and find the equalizer. Pressing out, it's J-Dog who answers though and cuts him down with a classic.
Barely missed out on that one. That was a really good idea you were talking about. Put another couple of fakes on KDN, picking up two of their own. Oh, that's nasty. You just don't do that to a man. Jeez, get out of here, said their teammate, avenging the death, and it's just all down to J-Dog. Lone Sova with the spike against two, and they have no idea where they're at. Just trusting on the calls of their teammate here. Paco waiting around the corner as J-Dog pushes through. Might know something's there. Didn't get it. They missed the shot. Oh no, that's going to go defender's way. That's so close, and that's got to feel bad when you know you're right there to having Econ in your favor.
Yeah, I mean, 2v1 though, it was tough. J-Dog was sitting at 20 health, so, and a classic in hand at that. So a very tough position to be in. Nonetheless, a great try, but Paco Man able to put him down. Now up 7-6, the Crusaders have finally taken the lead here, what I believe is for the first time this game.
I'm pretty sure that would be an accurate statement, but oh man, that feels so bad. I would not want to be in that shoe, because if YeeT is to lose the rest of this, that's the turning point. That moment right there, that is what we were looking at, because you give up economy by just missing a shot. You had all the knowledge in the world, and now it is all coming back for you. 3v3, Knights are going down for the plant as well, pushing through the smoke. Almost picked, just couldn't make up their mind on a target. Thought they would have taken down the first by the time they transferred to the second, and that is unfortunate, but not a lot lost out here. Yes, the health is low for Crusaders, but KDN setting up the next intel.
Yeah, I don't think he expected Astra to be there. He saw that Sova drone coming through, so it was a smart idea normally to push through that. Unfortunately, Astra waiting there. He can't make his decision. It's J-Dog able to find one. Paco, though, with the trade and the Spectre. And now they're starting to string rounds together. Of course, they did have that buy that round, though. YeeT on the eco round, so it was to be expected. Hats off to YeeT for taking away 3 kills and 3 guns there in that eco round.
Certainly. I mean, when you're saving like that and then you find yourself picking up guns just wherever you walk, it's like, yeah, I'm rolling with this one. No complaints here. Crusaders 2 rounds up for themselves at this point now, and Econ not looking great for YeeT, and I'm pretty sure Crusaders, if I'm not mistaken, did pick up the first pistol round as well, but again, I really can't get my mind off of that pick that YeeT could have had that very last kill, how close they came. And I'm not a player, though, thankfully. Hopefully this is not something that is in their mind for too long, because you have to wipe that away. You have to get rid of it. It is in the past. There's nothing you can do except look to the future and try to fix your econ. Yeah, but, by YeeT getting those few kills, you'll see Crusader is kind of on a scrap buy this round, while YeeT is the one with the full buy, even though they haven't won these 2 rounds. But Keanu steps out and finds a beautiful shot. Meanwhile, Nightster able to get the trade and eventually the double kill there. Sage looking to get that orb
And work toward the ult, just 2 away now for her. And now that pressure on the site. Astra tucked away here with the frenzy. Sprays come through the box. And Nightster, no! Disobeys, finds the kill somehow with a frenzy versus the Vandal.
Oh.
And now another! What a play from Disobeys before he's finally extinguished by Psycho.
I was not expecting that one to go that way. It looked like all the bullets traveled right through their body, but that is just spread for you. It can be your best friend or your worst enemy, and in this case, your worst enemy. Spike goes down, Psycho holding it all alone. Knows that they're coming from the left side now. Finds one on Cypher, needs to get out of the way, just did so. One more to pick off, defend the Spike plant, and they do so. Yep, clutch in big bold letters, very well deserved.
What a phenomenal clutch by Psycho. The 2v1, both members pressing there, but can't find the trade. Just a beautiful job, you know, to use that that invisibility to get away there.
Certainly a great use of invisibility. I mean, you got 2 options, and invisibility right there was the correct option for Reyna to get out of the way. I mean, in many ways, many different levels. So now we are moving closer to a tied game. The Econ looking a little better. Interesting weapon selection. Not my personal choice, but what these teams are going to do well with. As always, we start real spread out, taking our time and making sure that we can slowly push in, but you already know you are anticipating that first gunfight. Audience knows it, people at home know that it could come at any second, and here we go. The first shot's being fired. KDN planting that down, making sure no one can quite get to them, or at least it would be unfavorable to do so. Location revealed for just a moment. Psycho doesn't have to worry about that anymore. The utilities being picked up on, you know where they are. They're making sure to get rid of what they can while they haven't. And Dr. Paco Man just positioning themselves under helm and waiting for anything at this point.
Yeah, Psycho trying to get the blind in here, trying to peek 4 teammates. Now that recon dart is going to spot him, though. And J-Dog waiting outside here, just trying to see if one peeks there, that glass window from heaven. Paco tucked away in hell as well, and J-Dog and crew starting to rotate back toward that B side. I think they have an idea that there is a fair amount of Crusaders here locking down this A site. If Sage can get over here to that B site and hold that rotation down ahead time, this could be a huge play here for YeeT.
This could be Nightser making their way around. Making their way downtown. Here we go. Here's the gunfight. That's unfortunate for Psycho. Keanu just doing them one better. Keanu firing through the smoke. There's nothing on the other side of that, unfortunately, other than a door. They take that out of the equation. Keanu pushing in with the rest of the Crusaders as they make their way on site. KDN waiting by the Sage wall and out. Everybody revealed. This is going to be some free pickings if you can just land your shots. It's so hard to control. Couple blinds, everything being thrown, and the kitchen sink as well. Hiding back in cubbies, and that's a bunch of kills for the Crusaders. One more to find. They get there, and they're going to get a swift defuse.
Yeah, what a phenomenal retake by the Crusaders here. YeeT pushing in, getting that spike down. An amazing shock dart, or a recon dart from Sova as well, lighting up nearly everyone on site. Sprays coming through the walls there. They didn't find a kill at that moment, but they did a ton of damage to both Astra and Phoenix, just allowing them to push into site cleanup. A phenomenal job of utility. The retake was just, that was insane.
It really was, and I mean, there is Keanu, as always, with the Jet, being that duelist to take over 19 kills, leading the lobby at the moment, and not as many deaths as we see on the other side, unfortunately. So Crusaders, again, what I was talking about before, when the last time we saw Crusaders, they are one of those teams where once they hit the double digits, once they hit 10, they tend to run away with the series. They might hold themselves on 11 or 12 for one round, but after that, they will push on through it. So you can't give econ to Crusaders in the later half because they are really, really good at finishing out a game.
Yeah, we can see him now starting to push up Cat in a hurry. Sova's going to have to backpedal here. The shock dart comes out nicely, though, and that's going to chunk Sova down here. Paco steps out. He finds one. Can he get another? It's Disobey. Lux on the trade. Disobey with a 2K up top, and Lux able to trade him out a 2K of his own. Here come the knives, and Keanu from above. What a play. Keanu just wreaking disaster from above, clutching the round here 7-10 as they start to pull away.
I was just talking about how good Keanu is. Now they cross into the 20 kills margin with 21 and still 11 kills. Didn't die that round. Finished out incredibly strong, as we just saw, using their ult to their advantage when, you know, in this series, it has been a struggle with those Jet ultimates. With the Blade Storm, you have to make your market as much harder now with the nerf. But at this point, Keanu's like, I don't care. I don't care about any nerfs that have happened to my agent. I'm going to keep pushing through, doing my thing, and they are executing very, very well.
Yes, yes. And now honestly, this is a very important round for YeeT, a full buy. If they lose this, they find themselves in a world of hurt-free economy, nearing that match point situation. So this right here can be a very crucial round for YeeT. Would like to see him take this to keep that run alive, but again, right now, Crusaders are just playing very well, especially in the second half. We can see those sprays coming out through the wall, and that just comes from time, the game sense from these guys, the knowledge as well as Lux, able to tap the head of KDN, and again, so easy to find those kills, back off into that turtle position. Now that what that's going to do, you can see on the minimap there, the Crusaders already rotating around toward that A site, having to play a man down, and it puts YeeT in a good position here.
It does, and again, like you're talking about, if they lose this round, it's going to be disastrous for their econ, and that's going to allow Crusaders to close out the series, a thing that they are very, very good at and will have zero problem with doing. Tricky. There's nothing to be found for YeeT at the moment as they continue to make their push. Looking towards the B site, Wes, the only one waiting. That's a beautiful way to peek over top with Sage, putting up that wall to get that leverage, peek through the bars, and pick up a couple of shots. That's Triggy onto Keanu, and that is taking down a very key component to the Crusaders' way of playing. Disobeys instant onto Psycho. And just to rotate around here, one to go for the Crusaders. That's all there's left to defend, and this is going to be a moment where YeeT would like to really push back and tie up the series.
Yeah, you can see the quick push from Disobey, just trying to clear those angles. Lux, of course, waiting patiently there for that 3K. A great round from Lux as they close that lead here by 2. And again, we talked about how crucial that round was for YeeT. They were able to clutch it up. The economy is still hurting a little bit. See if they'll do something here for Psycho. It looks like Triggy should be able to buy for Psycho if needed. But again, Crusaders are going to opt to buy as well. Their economy has dwindled away. Really just a crucial round for both teams here.
It really is. I mean, they're both geared up with their weapons of choice. It seems like they've got everything they want. You know, heavy shields, couple light shields going out as well for YeeT. So, like we mentioned, struggling, but not by too much. I mean, if Crusaders are just to keep up their consistency with their shots, they should be able to get this 11th round to their name. J-Dog cruising on through. Nothing that they can see quite yet. Dr. Paco waiting right behind that box. Triggy won't be able to see it. Checking their flanks, or at least those little cubbies that people can be hiding in. And still, nothing. Nobody. Nada. Zilch.
Yeah, I'm loving the patience here from YeeT so far, though, just trying to draw out some of that utility, trying to find a little intel or possibly a pick, and they saw Jet from Y there, but it's Lux now who pushed up Cat, able to get the flank onto KDN, and now on the site with ease as Paco is going to get shot down by Triggy as well. He was waiting patiently there in hell. Now Disobeys trying to step out from the smoke and find that pick. That spike is down with ease. The door is shut. And now YeeT is going to be able to back off and play that defensive position.
Well, Keanu breaking down that stage one, but they're slowed up in heaven. They might look to push around, or they might, I think they'll wait a little bit here and re-push as soon as Sage is done doing their thing with their utility. Wes wants to pick up a couple, just couldn't do so. Took fall damage out of that one, I believe. Now Wes, still nothing to be found, gets traded instead. That's another pick gone just so quickly. YeeT come back, and it is just one to go to tie this game.
Yeah, I mean, great job by them from battling. I think Crusaders took 4 rounds here pretty quickly in this second half. Now battling back, 1 away from tying it up. And of course, if you look at the economy of Crusaders, it is not there. Keanu buying a Sheriff as well. So if they don't win this round, normally you'd like to see them stay around that $2,000 mark. That would allow them to buy into that next round. So you want to start to be careful. You don't want to give too many rounds away and put yourself in a bad economic position. YeeT with that full buy, looking to dominate here in round 20. And again, pushing through mid here, trying to gain control. Of course, that Astra smoke smoking off mid. We can see KDN putting that Owl drone up mid, just trying to get a little intel there. Psycho tucked by Fridge, but Tricky is going to shoot that L drone down so it doesn't spot Reyna here. Buys them a little more time as they begin to press and hopefully cross to the other side. Just trying to clear all these angles, because there's a lot of angles to clear here at mid.
This does seem like Crusaders' game to win. I mean, we talked about that little pivotal moment where YeeT missed a very, I mean, not simple, but in theory, in concept, it is very simple to get that kill on that spike when you're in that 1v1 in the pistol round, and they missed that, but they are one round away from tying us all up, and that would just be a moment erased. But now you think about Crusaders and the fact that it is on them to make sure that they can close out this game that should be theirs. It's a steal. You get away with murder in a literal inverse way. So if they can close it out, good for them. They'll find themselves in a free grand final, but nothing comes for free when you got YeeT on the other side. This is KDN trying to clean things up. J-Dog and Triggy getting a couple kills in the background. Psycho finds their own. That's that team participation. Lux, now we got to get the fifth involved somewhere. Where are they? That's the question. And one going to go down.
Yeah, all tied up at 10-10. I wouldn't quite expect it after the end of that first half, but you know, YeeT doing a phenomenal job battling back here. Of course, we talked about the economy, but it does look like Jet is going to be able to sneak that buy in. So another full buy here. The economy for YeeT is now stacked, so Crusaders have to win this round or they are going to be in all the trouble.
Oh yeah, I mean, near perfect econ. You've got some players maxed out and just nothing they can do. Again, it's that free pocket change that they'll take with them to celebrate, but that is a very comfortable position to be in. Crusaders, had they won that one round that YeeT took to get here and go on this 3-round tear, and I think they would have had this series in the bag. But that crucial round, it was that moment when YeeT went on that full buy, and when they succeeded, that's where we have turned yet again. Two pivotal moments, and this time favoring YeeT as Triggy waits back.
Yeah, the smoke here again at mid, and she dissipated it quickly, trying to catch them off guard as they cross, but nobody is there. Now in this 1-2-2 setup is the bomb beginning to work a little bit towards garage here, as Reyna looking to find something. Phoenix waiting just on the other side of that wall of that. Now Trilogy with a little pre-fire here, just hoping to find something, maybe a little damage, a possible kill. But again, both of these teams remaining patient, just kind of playing a little default. Neither one wants to be the first to lose a member, but it is YeeT's turn to push. So as long as Crusader remains patient here, they should be able to hold these angles. Now Psycho with that flash though, and he's gonna know there's one to the left. He saw the bullets come in as it broke the Lear. Now he's gonna back off a little bit. That quick push through Cat. They've already rotated over to the A side and they've changed their minds. Paco's the only one remaining here on the A side as Psycho finds a beautiful kill at mid. And now this spike again will go down with YeeT. Although Hunter's Fury coming in from KDN. He's got other plans, but they're not planning on that default side. Disobeys with a double kill.
That is not looking too good, but they have turned the tables pretty quickly. YeeT sitting 2 players down when it seemed like Crusaders might lose this one. Crusaders losing yet another player. We're all evened up. Triggy pulling out that ult. Needs to even things up for YeeT. And get those picks on Crusaders. Misses all but one knife. Still has one to go. Does, I think, get it back. Wes gets Lux. Neister taking him out. One left for Crusaders. The last hope. And they cannot do it. YeeT have 2 rounds to go.
Yeah, a beautiful job there. You know, Jet popped that all on, I think it was Sova there in heaven, and to me it looked like that crosshair was right on. Sova somehow dodged a bullet, but nonetheless the clutch here coming from YeeT as they find themselves back on top here since the early parts of this game. Now 11-10 and just 2 rounds away from winning it all.
Well, it does seem like their game to win now. Crusaders not going to be able to find much from this economy. They're all going to go to Sheriff, so they'll switch back to the Classic. A couple bits of indecisiveness at the moment, but you have to be perfect. You need a literal miracle at this point. You have to hit your shots and nail them, but when you're faced off against machine guns, it's just not going to go your way, or at least it would seem. They do get 1 kill for themselves. Pick up a second, right back the other way though. 3v3 just like that. Want to do something with that door. Keanu coming right behind Paco, taking down the Sage Wall. That door preventing the attack from going any further, and the plant comes down. Still in a 3v3. No kills yet to come up yet.
Yeah, and I think it was Jet, but I'm not sure. One of them was able to grab that Vandal from a kill. So yeah, it was Jet. They're able to grab a weapon, and it's Keanu putting it to work as he taps the head of Nightster. Now the recon dart as well, trying to pressure on the site. They know there's one wide. It's been dinked, and Keanu with a 3K. A huge round for Keanu.
Okay.
And there's the 4K.
This was unexpected that Crusaders would be able to pull off something as clutch as this. They needed to get scrappy with it. They had sheriffs, they had pistols. There was nothing going for them in that game, but against all odds, they are able to tie it up, get a little bit of econ back in their favor, and they're going full buy-in. We are going to see a tight 23rd round.
Yeah, again, the economy has been padded for YeeT as well, so even though they suffered that loss, they're still able to come away with a full buy. But, you know, anybody's game at this point, whoever wins this round will now be at match point. So everything down to the wire.
Down to the wire is a perfect way to describe it. We are walking across a tightrope. You trip one bit, one toe falls off that rope, that things are going sideways. Those are the margins that we are dealing with. There is no room for error. Triggy firing through the smoke, maybe just giving off a couple audio clues as to where they are, maybe scare somebody out, make them peek, do something. Almost picked up a kill right there, just barely missing the head. That's another dodged bullet. Lux covering this angle. Psycho, this one, wants to push forward. There's not going to be much for them on the other side, so it's best to just wait. It's a very interesting thing to see, but when things are as tight as this, you don't want to go down to match point. There's the first bit of intel firing out from Triggy as they smoke it, fire through. No one being silly enough to peek that. Paco, nothing. Still 5v5. This is as tight as it's going to get.
Yeah, and that Sova Dart not picking up anyone as Triggy steps in, finds the kill. Keanu on the trade, and now Triggy with a 2K. Gonna have to pop the reload. He knows there's one up top, and Paco, man, with a beautiful shot here to make it a 3-on-3. J-Dog trying to hold that heaven. Beautiful positioning to do just that as he's able to take away from KDN. Can Wes step out? No, it's J-Dog who finds the kill, and now it's all down to Paco, man. He's left up here in heaven, trying to rotate around through glass, trying to find a pick here. Can he get something as he waits for someone to push up that glass? But again, just being patient is YeeT. They have the plant down. You know, if Cypher looks up top, he will see that Sova has his ult. He's got to know he's going to play for that ult. He should be touching that bomb here, just tapping it, trying to draw out Sova's ult. But again, the utility from Astra is there. Just so much time to be bought, and Lux able to step out, find the kill. And here we have it, Grant. We are at match point for YeeT.
Well, we've seen one miracle already for the Crusaders. Can we see a second? We think it's unlikely, but hey, sometimes these situations are unlikely, and they happen. So Crusaders down one on match point. It's as close of a series as we were hoping for, and it is going to be a series that we all deserved to get by the end of it, despite any results. The econ looking all right, although I think Crusaders got a little bit of ways to go. They need to win this one. Are we going to overtime? Is that something that we are going to see here? Because that would certainly be insane and a first here at MAGE.
Yeah, we have yet to see an overtime here yet, at least while we've been casting. So very well could happen here. It's do or die for the Crusaders. And that early pick from Keanu very well could do it. We see Paco, man, holding down this A site. Cam's on point. Traps set in place as well as KDN looks to Aldrone out. No intel for him as well. And really look at the patience from this YeeT team. Still in spawn, rotating around here. They are a man down, so just trying to be patient, trying to find that pick. But, oh, and the res coming out as well. So YeeT going to get a second opportunity here.
Beautifully done right there. I love that they saved that ult until this very point, making sure to get that revive, and we are all evened up. But it was not what Crusaders were hoping for, especially after, you know, Jet worked so hard to get that pick. This is the way that things go. 40 seconds, YeeT, the ones needing to put the spike down or just wipe out the defense. Of course, that objective going in favor of Crusaders. That's all it takes, but it is a hard task to get up to and complete. J-Dog looking for anything, scanning the area, doesn't find much from there. Oh, Knights are wanting to retreat back here. picking out their angles, knows that they've got a chance to plant. They're going to do it down. This is where Crusaders lost last time. That spike is down, and that's going to be huge for the way that this round goes. Still 5 on 5. Damage being done. There's the first kill in favor of the Crusaders. Everybody chilling up in heaven, looking through the glass window. J-Dog missing their mark there. Paco knows that they're there, just needs to catch this one out. Knows the door shut, so Sova's got to be in here. Just needs to land a shot, and they cannot. J-Dog picks up 2, looking for the third. Disobeys gets there instead. There's the ult from Phoenix as well. 3v2, just 1 left, and it is 1 kill away, but maybe not for now, and that will be it. YeeT going on to the grand final.
Yeah, and that means that we will have a rematch from that previous winter final. So YeeT's going to move back up to take on the University of Nebraska. And hopefully they can have a little bit different of an outcome. And they were able to gather some rounds, but you know, the University of Nebraska put on quite the performance last time. But hats off to both of these teams. They played very well here today. Coming down to the wire, almost in overtime at that, but YeeT able to pull this one out.
They were really well executed on that one. I loved that series. I mean, we've just been praying for a close series all day.